In California, people are typically charged with 2 counts of driving under the influence under California Vehicle Code Section 23152. First, we have the A count, which is driving under the influence of alcohol and or drugs. And then we have the B count, which is driving with a BAC of at least 0.08%. Now, for this video, we're going to be focusing on the B count. So in order to be convicted of driving with a BAC of 0.08% or greater, it must be proven that your BAC was at that level at the time of driving. This is significant for a few reasons. The first is absorption. Absorption is the passage of alcohol into the bloodstream. As it does this, your BAC continues to rise until it's reached what is known as your peak absorption rate. On average, it takes anywhere from 45 minutes to 3 hours for alcohol to absorb into your system after you stop drinking. Now, absorption is affected by many factors, including whether you drank on an empty stomach, whether you ate and how much you ate while you were drinking, whether you drank slowly or quickly, or the type of alcohol that you were drinking. Now, in many cases, people aren't tested until an hour or more after they've been arrested. So when you finish your final drink, it can take up to 2 to 3 hours for that drink to fully absorb into your system and put you over the legal limit of 0.08%. Now, a lot can happen in that time. During that time, you can be driving home, pulled over by the police, questioned. You may submit to performing field sobriety tests. You may be arrested. You may be taken down to the station. You may be waiting in the station for a period of time. All of this can happen before you're even tested. Now, at that point, when you're at the police station, perhaps 2 hours after your last drink, you may test over the legal limit. Well, that's because the alcohol has had an opportunity to fully absorb into your system. But the prosecution has to prove that your BAC was 0.08% or greater at the time you were driving. The rising blood alcohol defense involves showing that you may have indeed tested over the legal limit, but at the time you were driving, you were below 0.08%. As a result, if your absorption process isn't complete by the time you submit to a blood or a breath test, and your BAC is still rising at the time of the test, which exaggerates what your true BAC was at the time you were driving, then it's likely that your BAC could have been below a 0.08% at the time you drove. That is the rising blood alcohol defense.